Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. How is everyone doing? I hope you're getting out in nature somewhere. And my area, I am so amazed with the weather. It's already 60 out at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So that is really warm weather in my area. I don't know where you live. Like how warm or how cold is it where you are? And besides getting out in nature, I hope that you're being kind to yourself. And not only to be kind to yourself is to be kind to others. And right now, today is the full moon. Ow! So happy full moon day to all of you out there that are watching my YouTube channel. And also is, in my area, because, there's going to, trick-or-treaters will be out, celebrating Halloween. So, just what, keep an extra lookout for the little ones, the little monsters out there, or the goblins or the witches out there. And Starlight at this time of year, I don't really go out during this time unless I'm going to dress up for a Halloween party, but I haven't done that in a long time. But I really, really prefer not to really go out on these nights because of Halloween. A lot of strange things can happen. A lot of little monsters are out there, and the cops are out there, like to keep people safe. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and thank you for giving me a visit. And you could find me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So those are ways that you can find me. And when I get more situated, I will go on other apps, but it's going to be a while for that to happen. So I'm just letting you know that I'm going to put myself out there, like make more short videos, which right now it's kind of difficult. So I just kind of want to make that announcement for you. And also is make sure you're trying to work on yourself to be the change that you want to see in the world. Become your greatest version of yourself. And that is what Starlight has been working on for years. And I plan on continuing that, is to become the greatest version of myself, besides being that change that I want to see in this world. And it does take time, and it does take patience, and it does take a lot of work, and you got to love yourself through the whole process, and don't be too hard on yourself. So anyway, I don't want to make you wait any longer. This morning, I really want to talk about, a different topic. And, a lot of us can get caught up in this stuff. And that's why it's so important. Really, are you hanging out or being around the right kind of people in your area, wherever you live? I don't know where you live. Do you live in the city or the country? And, like, what kind of people do you hang out with? What do they do? What do they like to do? What are their habits? What, do they have good habits? Do they have bad habits? And that is what this video is about, is really, are the people that you're spending time with, are those the kind of people you really should spend time with? And I'm going to explain as I go into this video is, there are times that, you might be hanging out with somebody that, they might have some bad habits, like maybe smoking cigarettes, or doing drugs, or drinking alcohol. And there's so many different things. Some people have like gambling addictions, or, sex addictions, going out and always having to, like find somebody to have sex with, and might not be any love involved. It might just all be about lust, so And there's so many other different things out there, but these are the ones that I really want to focus on now about, is these different kind of habits or addictions. And so is there somebody in your life that like you could be related to them? It could be your mom or dad or brother or sister, aunt, uncle, grandpa. Yeah, grandpa, grandma. They're not innocent, right? We all have flaws, and nobody's perfect. So, you could be around grandpa and grandma. Are they drinking alcohol? Do they have an alcohol addiction? Are they alcoholics? So you really do. You got to question the kind of people that you're spending time with, or that you're hanging out with, or maybe you're involved with. And Starlight definitely desires to be with a man that is loving himself enough that, that he's not smoking cigarettes, or doing drugs, or drinking alcohol, or gambling addictions, or sex addictions. So it is really important to know the kind of people that you want to get involved with, or the people you don't want to get involved with. And it is good to protect your energy and your space, depending on where you live, and the people that you spend time with. Your mom and dad, do they drink alcohol? Do they smoke cigarettes? Do they do drugs? Your mom does drugs? That is definitely possible. What kind of drugs? Is it just marijuana, or is it something illegal? So you got to really question the kind of people that you spend time with, or are involved with, or you hang out with. So what kind of people do you hang out with, or spend time with, or maybe you're in a relationship with them? Are these the kind of people that are helping you to become your greatest version, or to be the change that you want to see in the world? Or do you find yourself, when you're around these people, say for instance that you gave up marijuana, you gave up drinking alcohol, you gave up cigarette smoking, you don't gamble, but now that you're hanging out or spending time with these people, or involved with certain people, that now you're kind of thinking, maybe I should gamble my money a little bit, or maybe, that cigarette, you might be even tempted to, try a cigarette. Maybe you never smoked before, or maybe you did. Or, now these days people do the vape. Somebody might say, hey, do you want to vape? And you'll be like, vape? What's that? Where is that even healthy for you? I definitely have been offered about vaping before, and Starlight's really good. I gave up cigarettes like 31 years ago. So why would I want to vape, when I gave that up a long time ago? Where some people might think it's a cool thing to do, to use those vapes where a little smoke comes out or whatever. And I'm not sure if they all do that. And, so somebody might introduce you to something like that. And, you might be tempted like, hey, I'll try it. But why would you want to? How much does it cost? And is it good? Is it healthy for you? It could cause you to get addicted to it, where now you need to vape all the time, where when you get stressed out, you might like vape. When you get bored, you might want to vape, just like smoking cigarettes, where, you might get upset and then you find yourself, like, smoking a cigarette or cigars, So do you hang out with, or are you involved with somebody that, smokes cigarettes and or vape, or, drink alcohol? So the reason why I want to make this video, it's so important that you really think of who you are. Like, what are you working on? Are you trying to be that change that you want to see in the world? And how do you want to see the world? Do you want to see the world where there's a bunch of smokers and people, drinking alcohol and getting drunk, and where you really got to question, how do you want to see yourself? Like, how do you want to, see this change in the world? You know, so are the people that you're hanging out with, are they the right kind of people? Are they helping you to become your greatest version, or are they making you, think, hey, they're drinking, they might even offer you, hey, do you want to get high? Or, hey, would you like a glass of wine, Starlight? And yeah, Starlight used to drink wine a long time ago, more than a year ago, that I used to drink wine every night, knock on wood, and I used to get high with marijuana every night, knock on wood. And I decided to give that up. At first I gave it up because of somebody else, and then I gave up the wine completely. And then with the marijuana, I gave it up because of somebody else. They didn't want to go with somebody, because if, they didn't want to go with somebody that was smoking marijuana. So I gave it up for them. And then I realized, you know what, I gave it up for the wrong reason. I need to really give marijuana up, because I myself has decided on my own that I want to let that go. And I did. So, now, I'm not going to say I don't get tempted, and that's the reason why I'm making this very important video, is there might be times that you might be stuck in a situation where you might spend time with somebody, and then you realize, oh my, they drink every day, where they might offer you a drink, like, hey, Starlight, would you like a glass of wine? And you might be tempted to, like, start up something that you gave up. Now, and it is something, how this all works is, we are being tested or tempted, where God tests us a lot and says, like, might test you with a guy or girl, and might say, hey, how about this guy or this girl? And you're like, nah, no, I don't know, that's not really for me. Or, a job, might test you to see if you want to take that job, that you work in a factory. No, I know they might pay a lot of money, but really, do I want to do that all day long? No, I'm not going to be happy. So, in life, a lot of times, like, people are on an old program, and you might be, which I am, is reinventing myself, and that goes along with how I think and how I see things, how I perceive things. So I am like on an upgrade, where I'm letting go of my old ways of thinking and looking at things. So who are you hanging out with? Are they the kind of people that are on an old program that no longer works anymore? It's almost like going to a 4G phone. Does it work good? Absolutely not. So now, like, with the 4G, you have to have a 5G phone in order for your phone to work properly, and, have enough space and all that. So if I try to have a different phone, my phone would not be working right. And same with an old program. And, when you get an upgrade, you got to let go of that old program that you were conditioned to believe, and, reprogram yourself. So, you got to be careful of the kind of people that you hang out with or spend time with or involved with, because if they are on an old program, like an old phone, they're going to give you old advice, advice from the past that no longer works today. So they are on an old program, the old ways of thinking, the way that you might have been thinking, where if you have gotten an upgrade and everything is new, the way you perceive the way things are, it is going to be hard to have any thing in common with that person, because, or people in your life, because they are on an old program, the way you used to see things or used to, had thoughts about, and now you're on a new program. And you really do. You got to really be careful the kind of people you spend time with, because they really can trip you up. They can bring you backwards and trip you up where you're trying to go forward. And because they're on an old program, they could tell you, their opinions or thoughts about what you should do, what kind of job you should get, where you should live, and then when you hear them tell you all this information, your butt, that is how I used to look at things. That is what I would have done before when I was programmed a certain way, but now I've been reinventing myself. So I don't work under that program anymore, because I got an upgrade to think differently. And so, no, I don't want to get that first job that somebody offers me, like, hey, they pay you $25 an hour to make stickers all day long. Really? Wow, that's exciting, Would you work there? Nah, I won't work there, but, that's a good job for you, though. I will pass, that is not what I see myself really doing, is making stickers all day long. I like stickers, but that's really not how I want to spend my time in a day working. So, besides the old program that many people are under is, whoops, I got an itch here, is, are you spending time with people that might tempt you to going back and doing things that you used to do, like drink wine again, and you might like, they're offering, Starlight some wine, or, and I'm not saying this happens, but, or offer me some marijuana that I used to do, where, where you could be tempted. And it is funny. It's like a seed that they plant in your mind and your headspace to make you, that glass of wine sounds pretty good, and, where after they plant this seed in your thought space, even though you said, no, I'm good, later on you're like, wine, it's been how long that I had a glass of wine? And, I know well enough when I used to drink wine is that, after I get one glass, I want another glass, And so you got to really understand is the kind of people that you're involved with. Are you strong enough to say no? No to those temptations that are going to, we're tested and tempted to think about things, like you might have gave up, or even, all kinds of different things out there, not just cigarettes and alcohol, but, old routines that you used to do, go to places that are not good for you, or listen to the old music that you used to listen to, or watch the kind of movies that are not good for you, or the programs that they have out there, so you really got to think twice of the kind of people that you hang out with, or spend time with, or to get involved with, because are they doing things that are healthy and good for you? How about their eating habits? What kind of food do they eat? Do you want to be with that person that's eating the things that you don't want to eat anymore? Because maybe you used to eat it, and maybe you might be tempted to try it again, and, where it could really bring you backwards instead of forward. So it is so important, especially with alcohol or drugs or cigarettes, that if that's an area that you used to do and you gave it up, maybe you were an alcoholic before and you gave it up, should you really be spending any time with anybody that's drinking alcohol? And, like you might be hanging out with them and they might offer you a glass of beer or wine. What is your thing? What is it that you like? Are you tempted to go back to your old ways? And I have to say that it can be really tough, you might start thinking, glass of wine and you know, a joint right now, both of those combinations, or a beer and a joint, they go hand in hand. It's like soda with pizza, where you might be tempted to think, like maybe, maybe I ought to have a glass of wine, or maybe, a bowl of pot, not, like, or weed, marijuana, or a joint of marijuana, or even, might be tempted to smoke another cigarette after it's been how many years, you know? So you really got to think of the kind of people that you're spending time with, and are they healthy for you? And I have to say, this is what I've done in the past, but I am, like I said, I have an upgrade. So I've been changing the way I see things, perceive things, think about things, do things. So, I could be tempted in having a glass of wine where you tell the person, no, and you tell them exactly why you don't want it. Is like, hey, if I had a glass of wine, then I know I'm going to want more. And they're like, well, that's exactly why I want you to have some, Starlight, is, I'm hoping that you will want more. And, where you got to be strong. And so yesterday I was driving in my vehicle, and I am like, you know what? I am saying no. I'm sorry, but I don't want that glass of wine. And I really, I really desire not to, spend time with people. I don't, like, I don't want to be around people that are drinking or doing drugs, because it can trip you up. Where then it's a seed that they planted. There's seeds of kindness, and there's, you could plant bad seeds where it could get in your headspace where now that's all you can think about is that glass of wine or that joint, that you used to smoke, and how much does that cost? Can you afford, buying pot again? And can you afford going out and buying wine again? And once you start stuff like that, your first time doing it, a lot of times you're going to want to do it again. And that's how habits start, is like 3 times. It seems to be the number for me. But once you do the one time, and, then, you might get tempted. Oh, that wasn't bad, like, or I didn't have enough and I need another glass, and then you might say, hey, I did really good. And then the next night, and then boom, now you're desiring to actually go out and get that wine or that marijuana, and you might not even have money for it. And then now you're craving for this thing. It's just like coffee in the morning, the same kind of thing. You like your morning coffee. Well, then the next morning you're going to want another cup of coffee, and the next morning you're going to want another cup of coffee. So you really got to think, as the people that you're spending time with, are they the greatest people to be around? And, there's sometimes with people is what happens is that you might do the right thing and say, no, I'm good. But a lot of times, some people, they don't stop there. They insist on you, they really will push that drug or alcohol or whatever it is. They might even try to get you to have sex with them. And, and you, again, you speak up and like, no, sorry, we're good, and they might still insist. So you got to watch out for people like that, where they just don't leave it alone. They just keep on bringing it in at you. And that's how they plant that little seed in your mind, and it could trip you up. You have to be strong, and you can be strong enough to say no, absolutely not. And, you might have to let those people go and, to me, run, get away from those people. I can't tell you what to do, but really, you're going to, if you really don't want to do those things, and they keep on wanting to have you, they insist on you doing those things that that you don't want to do, you might have that little part of you that wants to do that, to be honest. But really, you can be strong enough to say no. And you might have to just get away from that person altogether so it doesn't trip you up. They're not going to care later on that, it affects you. They might have the, an alcohol problem. And, you got to really be careful of being around people that are alcoholics, because it could trip you up where it could cause you to get back in a bad habit that you used to do, where now you want to have alcohol every night like them, where, it might, like you could end up having where they rub bad habits on you, and, where you see them and they wake up and what are they pouring is, you're pouring a glass of wine already. Like what time is it? And it is very dangerous to be around people that are drinking, because they can black out, and they can, wine and spirits is, you do have to watch out for people that drink alcohol or even do certain kind of drugs, because it will and can affect you. They could block out and say horrible stuff to you, and you'd be like, like you might not even know that they're drunk, and you'd be like, like, gee, like everything was great earlier, and now they're saying this horrible stuff that they, and then you realize, oh my, they are drunk, and you didn't even know it, so you really got to watch out those kind of people, because they will pull you down. They will get you to think about drinking that alcohol again, or that wine or beer or whatever your thing is, or mixed drinks. And you got to protect yourself from people like that, and really, if all possible, avoid people like that, as quick as you can. Get out of that situation, and be strong. You can be strong to yourself, because now they're planting those seeds in your mind of getting you to want to smoke or drink or whatever it is that they're trying to get you to do. And you have the power to say, no, I know where that's taken me. I don't want to go. And I am strong. I am strong enough, and I am not going to let this person affect me in that negative way. I have worked too hard. I am not going down that road. I don't want to waste my money on those things any longer like I did in the past. I don't want to do those things. I already made up my mind years ago or a year ago, and I need to be strong. You got to be strong, to get away from those people. Definitely speak up and let them know how you think and how you see things. And if they keep on pressing you, you would be smart to let them go, and don't spend time with those people, because they are planting that seed in your mind space, and it will come back in your head, and you will think about that thing. And it's a temptation. It is a way of getting in your headspace to get you think about, it's just a glass of wine, and so you got to be strong, and you can do this. You can say no, and really get away from those people. I can't make you have you get away from those people, but really the best thing is to avoid those people at all costs. And if you're dating somebody, like that, you got to watch out, because that alcohol can creep up, or different drugs can really, cause that person to behave and act a certain way. And they say people, when they are drunk, that they start talking the truth. They might have never said anything before, but then the big ugly truth comes out when they're drunk, and they can get controlling, and treat you in a very horrible way, black out, and do stuff to you, and you remember the next day, and everything's great with them, but they don't remember what they did to you. So you really do got to keep yourself safe. You have to be smart. You got to not let other people control your life, or trip you up and try to plant those seeds, those bad seeds. Either they're going to pull you down, or you're going to be around people that are going to lift you up. What kind of people are you hanging out with? Are they going to bring you back to the things that you used to do? Or are they the kind of people that are going to help you to be the greatest version of yourself, or be the change that you want to see in the world? Or are they going to bring you back to that old programming where you used to think and believe? So I love you, and really, you can be strong enough. You don't have to cave in those temptations out there. You can be strong and say, you know what? I'm good. I am good. I do not want that glass of wine. Like, yeah, I would like to smoke a joint right now, but you know what? I am strong. I don't want it. I'm not gonna do that. And I am good. I have to let go of you because you are not gonna help me to become my greatest version. You are gonna trip me up. And I'm not gonna let you trip me up. I'm gonna be smart enough and strong enough to say no. Absolutely no. And that's the way life is. We are gonna be tested and tried and tempted, to try different things, do things that we used to do. And you can be strong enough to say, no, I'm good. And, like I said, like you would be wise if you let them people go and avoid them at all costs. Anyway, I do love you, and I really hope you get a lot of help. This is a really important video for anyone out there because we all could get tempted and, or tested on whether we're going to do that thing or not. And please don't fall for that stuff. Sometimes people will say, hey, I'll buy you a glass, I'll buy you a bottle of wine. They might just want to see you get intoxicated so they can take advantage of you. So, and they might have an issue or a problem, and you don't want to be a problem in your life. So be strong, tell those people no, and you might have to let them go. If you were wise, you really would. And I love you so much, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but it is so important that you do. You are strong enough. You can say no to temptations. Say no. You have no power over me. I am not, and I refuse. I've come so far. You're not going to trip me up. And I do love all of you. You can like this video. You can also follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. And I really do. I know you can do this. You can be strong. Say no to those people. Get away from those people because they will trip you up. They will not help you to become your greatest version. They will bring you back in places that you don't want to go. So you got to be strong. You can do this. You could say no and stay firm and walk away from those people. I do love you so much. I really hope you get a lot of help. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I pray you get a lot of help. This is Starlight. Love and light. Peace.